Hi everyone, hope you're all well and welcome to today's vlog, 5 things that I worried about before having my baby. Number 1, and probably most important, I worried about keeping my baby alive, happy, healthy, and just, generally being in charge of a whole little human being and keeping them safe and well. While being in charge of a little baby human was terrifying to me, it's actually been such a pleasure and not as scary or daunting, as I expected. Of course, I worry about things every day, but I feel like a lot of things have come naturally and, the joy of raising Luca certainly outweighs the worry. The second thing that I really worried about was bonding with my baby. And this natural rush of love that you hear about. I really didn't enjoy pregnancy, and I certainly didn't feel like I developed a bond, like a natural bond, when I was pregnant. I didn't really feel any different. I just felt really scared and really nervous. And while I was excited to meet the baby, I just couldn't imagine what it was going to be like having this baby. And particularly the birth that I went through, I really worried that such a traumatic birth would impact me being able to bond with Luca. In reality, I absolutely have bonded with him. In fact, Luca is what kept me going through my really difficult postnatal recovery period. Just seeing him, cuddling him, looking after him became like a real purpose for me and just such a joy, and brought, the light back into my life when I was struggling postnatally. Sort of linked to that, the third thing I really worried about was postnatal depression. This is something that can, affect anyone. You have absolutely no control over it, and that was what terrified me. And I was also really scared that I wouldn't recognise it if I did develop postnatal depression. Thankfully, I didn't develop postnatal depression. Despite really struggling with my postnatal recovery, I didn't actually experience a depression. But the positive thing is that there are so many resources out there if you do, and so much more information for partners as well about postnatal depression, that it's definitely not something you're going to have to suffer with alone. And it's just really important that if you or your partner thinks that you are experiencing postnatal depression, you do get the help for it. Fourth thing that I really worried about was actually ruining my relationship, which seems like quite a sort of silly thing to worry about, but I really felt like we were in such a good place in our relationship, and all the sort of horror stories you hear about newborns and no sleep and it just taking over your whole life, I thought, what if we don't survive this? Genuinely, what if we don't? What if we turn into two people who can't cope with this together? And that did really scare me, because I was really happy in my relationship. But the truth is that this could not have brought us closer. I had a difficult pregnancy, a difficult birth, and a difficult postnatal period. And we went through it all in a pandemic and lockdown, living in each other's pockets. But we came out still laughing and smiling every day. Absolutely loving our family with Luca, and actually closer than ever, because nothing brings you closer than your partner having to help change your maternity pads, dress you, shower you, raise a newborn with you, and even clean up your poo when you poop yourself. So definitely my relationship didn't suffer. We just got closer than ever, and we are a very happy family. Final thing that I worried about and genuinely was terrified of was childbirth. I was so scared, and have always been so scared of the thought of childbirth. The thought of either dying in labour or, being permanently seriously injured. And for a time I thought that had happened. I thought that I had permanently disabled myself. If you listen to my postnatal story, you'll hear more about that. But of course, I did not die in childbirth, and I did not permanently disable myself. And of course it was worth it. Luca is the light of our lives. In this day and age, in our country, we're so privileged to have access to amazing healthcare. So that was a huge fear of mine. And if it's a fear of yours, I just want to reassure you and say that we do have, excellent healthcare, and they're really prepared for every eventuality. So while it is a genuine, understandable fear, we are in the best hands, and you can do it and you will be okay. So those were my 5 fears before giving birth. I hope that these have resonated with you, and if they have, they've reassured you and helped you feel better about your own anxieties. As always, I'm happy to answer any questions in the comments or my private message on Instagram. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing, just so that I know that, I'm doing something right. But please have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.